Hello, I am Miss Kriti and I am a mathematics teacher. How are you all? Good to see you. So today we'll be learning about fractions. And what do we know about fractions? Yes, fractions are parts of a whole. So if we have a whole object and we divide it into equal parts, so those parts of a whole are called fractions. So let's understand this concept better with an activity first. Okay. So we'll be sharing a screen and we'll be doing the activity together. Fine. So here you can see that there are shapes, geometric shapes, which are colored in different colors. Now the first example has been done for you. You can see this box. It was first a whole box. Now this whole box is divided into how many parts? How many parts can you see? 1, 2, and 3. And out of 3, how many parts are shaded in red color? Yes, it is 2. And how have we represented it? The shaded parts is written in the top and the total parts are written in bottom. This is how we represent fractions. Fractions are represented as in the form of a top number, which is called the numerator, or we call it as n, and the bottom number, which is called the denominator, or we write it as d. So fraction is represented in the form of a numerator over denominator. Numerator represents the shaded parts or selected parts, and the denominator represents the total parts. So let's start with this activity. So in the second figure, which you can see here, how many total parts are there? Correct. This whole figure is divided into 2 equal parts. And remember, in fraction, the parts should be equal in size. It should not be unequal size. Okay. So the bottom number here in this example becomes 2. And how many parts out of 2 parts are shaded in brown color or orange color? Yes, it is just 1. So the top number becomes 1. So the fraction becomes 1 over 2, or we can also call it as 1 half. This fraction is also represented as 1 half, right? Now let's move to the third figure. In this third figure, the entire whole box is divided into how many equal parts? Let's count together. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the bottom number is always the total number of parts. So the bottom number becomes 4. And out of 4 total equal parts, how many parts are shaded in green? Correct. 2 parts are shaded. So the fraction becomes 2/4. We say it as 2/4. Let's do the next question as well, which is colored in brown. So this entire shape is divided into how many boxes can you see? Equal boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the bottom number is correct, 6. And out of 6, how many parts are shaded in brown? 1, 2, 3, 4. So the numerator becomes, or the top number becomes 4. So what is a fraction being called? 4/6. Let's do this one as well. So this entire whole box is divided into how many total parts? 1, 2, 3, 4. So the bottom number becomes 4. And how many parts are shaded in light green color? Yes, correct. 2 parts. So the numerator becomes 2. And the fraction again becomes 2/4. Now let's do the last question. How many total equal parts this figure is divided into? Let's count together. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the bottom number becomes 8. And how many parts are shaded in pink? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the top number becomes 6. So what is a fraction here? 6 out of 8 parts are shaded. So the fraction becomes 6/8. So did you observe what are we doing in this activity? In this activity, a whole figure was divided into some equal parts, and out of those equal parts, some parts were shaded in different colors. And we had to write the fraction for the shaded or the colored part. So in each question, we first wrote the total number of parts, that is the denominator, and the numerator was the colored part. That is how fraction is represented. Fractions are there around us also. Suppose it is my birthday today and I am ordering a cake for my friends. So I bought a cake which has 8 equal slices, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I have 7 friends and I am also the one person. So 7 plus 1, 8, total 8 people are there. So I have to divide this cake equally, isn't it? So if I divide this cake equally, then each person will get only one slice. No other person is getting more than one slice or less than one slice. So that is how we apply fractions in our lives also. Fractions means we are sharing things equally. So let's understand this better through a PowerPoint presentation again. Okay, so basically we have done this activity. Now what is a fraction? Fraction is a part of a whole, and fraction is also a part of a set. Suppose here we can see that there are dozen cupcakes, and I see that you have ate 2 cupcakes. You ate 2 cupcakes out of dozen. Dozen means 12. So what will be the fraction? 2/12. Correct? So we are applying fraction on a whole and on a collection. When it is a whole, so let's go through this example. We ordered a whole pizza and everybody likes pizza, right? Now it is cut into 8 slices. Out of this 8 slices, we ate 2 slices. So what will be the fraction? Yes, since the pizza was divided into total 8 slices, the denominator becomes 8. And how many slices did I eat? 2. So the numerator becomes 2. It's always the selected part. So the fraction becomes 2/8. This is how we do when we have to find parts of a whole. The next category is how to do parts of a set. So fraction is not only for whole, fraction is also for a collection also. Suppose here we can see there are total of 6 cookies, right? Now there are 2 types of cookies in this question. One is peanut butter, the other is chocolate chip. And now what is the question being asked? It is asking that write the fraction for peanut butter cookies. So we know in fraction, the bottom number is always the total number of things. So here total number of cookies are 6. So the denominator becomes 6. And how many peanut butter cookies are there? Just 1. So the numerator is 1. So the fraction becomes 1/6. So this is how we represent fractions as a part of a whole as well as part of a set. So let's understand this better through a video as well.
Fractions. Understanding fractions can be easy as 1, 2, 3. Just watch this video and you'll be using fractions with ease.
Let's watch
it's easy to count
this.
whole things like a pizza, a pie, or a donut. But what if we only had part of 1? How would we count it then? We'd use fractions. A fraction looks like this. The bottom number is called the denominator. It shows how many equal pieces an object has been divided into. The top number is called the numerator. It shows how many parts of the denominator you are looking at. For example, a pizza is usually divided into 8 slices. That means that in a fraction, the denominator would be 8.
See?
If you normally eat 1 slice of pizza, then 1 would be the numerator.
So numerator is
That means
always,
that you eat 1/8 of a pizza.
numerator is always the
If
selected
you
part.
normally eat 2 slices of pizza, then 2 would be the numerator. The denominator would still be 8 since there are always 8 slices of pizza. That would mean that you eat 2/8 of a pizza. Let's try another example. This pie is divided into 6 pieces and you eat 4 pieces of it. If there were 6 pieces of pie and you eat 4, what is the denominator of your fraction?
Tell.
That's right, 6.
6.
What is the numerator?
Tell again. Yes.
Yep, it's 4. That means that you ate 4/6 of the pie. Let's try one more example.
Let's do
If
this.
you and your friend have 1 donut to share, then you will cut it into 2 pieces. If there are 2 pieces of donut and you eat 1, what is the numerator of your fraction?
It is? Yes.
That's right, the numerator is 1. What is the denominator?
Total parts. Correct.
Right again, it's 2. When the fraction is 1/2, we call that 1/2. Thanks for watching.
So I hope now that you have understood this activity and we have learned what are fractions, how do we learn represent fractions in the form of a numerator and denominator. And you saw, see, I told you everyday examples, pizza, donut, pie, we have fractions all around us, right? So let's wrap up this lesson by doing one more question of it. So we have here in this worksheet, you have to tell the fractions of the following questions. So the first is, what fraction of the squares are white? So we can, first of all, we will see how many total squares are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the denominator becomes 6. And how many are white? Only 2. 1 and 2. So the numerator becomes 2. Next is, what fraction of the triangles are green? So let's count how many total triangles are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the denominator becomes 9. And how many are green? Tell. Yes, it is 8. So the fraction becomes 8/9. Next, what fraction of the circles are green? First of all, we'll count how many circles are there, total circles. So we can see it is 4. And the total circles, the circles which are green are, yes, it is 2. So the fraction becomes 2/4. Next, what fraction of the arrows point up? First, we will count how many total arrows are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it becomes 6. And how many are pointing up? Correct. 4. So the fraction becomes 4/6. Next, what fraction of the stars are white? First, we will count how many total stars are there. We can see there are 3 stars. So the denominator becomes 3. And how many stars are white? Yes, only 1. So the fraction becomes 1/3. Last question. What fraction of the stars are green? First, we will count how many total stars are there. There are 3 total stars. So the denominator becomes 3. And what will be the numerator? The question is, how many stars are green? So we can see there are only 2 stars. So the numerator becomes 2. So the fraction becomes 2/3. So did you enjoy the lesson? We got to know about fractions. We also learned about numerator, what is denominator, how do we represent fractions in the form of numerator and denominator. So fractions are parts of a whole, or we can say parts of a collection. So after this lesson, try to think that in your life, when did you apply fractions? When you bought some food items and you shared equally among your friends and family, did you apply fractions in that or not? Try to think after this lesson. Okay? It was great teaching you, and I hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.